My name is Meg Powers, and this is task 16, applying a modified Robert Jones bandage to a dog. So over here we have our supplies. We have some tape with a tongue depressor, a Telfa pad, some cast padding, some conform, as well as some vet wrap, and then some scissors. My assistant has the dog in lateral recumbency. She has her arm over her neck and holding this leg just so she can't get up. And then she's also supporting this leg for me so I can do our bandage. So the first thing we're going to do is take our tape and rip a few strips. We're going to put this on the cranial and caudal side of the paw. You can also put it on the medial and lateral side if that works better for your patient. And then to prevent our tape from sticking to each other, we're just going to keep a tongue depressor there to keep those pieces of tape separated. All right, and then we're going to always want to start at the distal end and work our way up. If she had a wound, we would want to apply a non-stick bandage such as this Telfa pad, and we'd want to put that over the wound after we clean it and apply some ointment. Our patient doesn't have a wound today, so we're just going to go ahead and start with the cast padding. She does kind of have a longer leg, so I've decided to use the 4-inch. So I'm going to wrap that around. So as I'm wrapping, I'm just going to want to make sure there's no wrinkles in it. And I'm going to want to try and overlap it by about 50%. And then I'm going to want to bring this all the way up to just over her elbow. So since our first layer is done, we're going to cut it. Now that that one is done, we're just going to want to make sure that it's not too tight so I can get a finger in there comfortably. And then same thing on the bottom. Just want to make sure that it's not too tight on her foot. Now we're going to go ahead and do our second layer of the cast padding. And again, we're going to start at the distal end and work our way up. So I want to get out any wrinkles. And again, I'm going to want to overlap it by 50%. And the reason you want to get the wrinkles out is because those can actually cause pressure sores. All right, and now our second layer of cast padding is done. We're going to want to cut that as well. All right, so now what we're going to do is once again, we're just going to check, make sure we can get our finger in there, make sure it's not too tight on our patient. Then we're going to do our conform gauze. So same thing, start at the distal end, work our way up. Careful not to have any wrinkles, and we're going to overlap it by 50%. That one's a little wrinkly, so we're going to go back and just straighten that out. Again, we're going to bring it up over her elbow. Then we're going to cut it again. And then after that layer, once again, just check. Make sure you can get your finger in there. It's not too tight on your patient, not too tight around their toes. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take this tape we're gonna retroflex it up onto our bandage. And then we're going to go with our final layer here of vet wrap. So again, we're going to start at the toes. And go up the leg. And again, you want to overlap it by about 50%. Okay, Maya. And again, we're going to just bring it up to just above her elbow. All right, and now that is done, again, we're just going to make sure it's not too tight. We can get our finger in there. Same at the bottom. And also what you're going to want to do is you want to make sure you can see those toes, and that way you can check them, make sure they're not cold, make sure they're not swollen. If at any point they get swollen, your bandage is too tight and you need to take it off and replace it with a new one.